Yo, so we got the prelims. We're getting in April, right? Now, everything starts off with a catch weight bout, right? Weight issues, all of that thing. But it's a well put together fight. We have Luan Lacerda against Simon Oliveira, right? So let's take a look at the tape, as it were. So Luan Lacerda, he is 32, 5'7", 71.5-inch reach, right? He is 0-2 in the UFC. Ooh, not great for him, and he's on a 2-fight skid, you know? So this one is a needed fight, right? So he made his debut in January 2023, where he lost a decision to Cody Stamann, right? He then fought again in June that same year, and he lost to Damon Blackshear, right? That was a TKO in the second round. But he hasn't fought since, right? Now, I don't know what that was. It's a lot of the time it's injury, you know. Now, before he got to the UFC, he fought in LFA, right? He went 2-0. His first fight in the promotion was July 2021, and he beat Tyrone Pedro by second round heel hook. He then fought in May the following year, right, 2022. He beat Marceli Alvarez, again, second round, this time a rear naked choke. So, and also when you look at his record, man, he does like a submission, right? He's got a number of rear nakeds. He's had arm bars. He also likes a guillotine, a triangle, and an anaconda. So, yeah, got all of that. And it's interesting because in his third pro fight, right, he lost via submission in the first round. And then after that, mostly submissions, right? He's mostly come out and got people in submission. So it's kind of like he learned from that first fight and was just like, that will never happen again. And he leveled himself up, you know? And he will need those skills, right, when he steps in there with Saimon Oliveira, right? He is 34, 5'4", 72-inch reach, right? He has an overall record of 18-6, right? He is 0-3, sorry, in the UFC. He came by the Contender Series. He's on a 3-fight skid also. Well, one extra fight than Lacerda, right? So really, this is a must win for both fighters. The loser could possibly be picking up that pink slip. Whew, no one wants that, right? Now, Oliveira, right? He won on the Contender Series via split decision in September 2021. He beat Jose Alday. So then he made his debut, right, in January 2022. He lost a decision to Tony Gravely. He then fought Daniel Marcos in January 2023. He got subbed in the second round in that one via knee. Oh, no, TKO via knees. Sorry, I thought it was knee bar at first. No. Knees, yeah. And he then next fought, right, March this year. So there's been a lot of gaps for him also in his fighting career. But he went up against David Martinez, first round stoppage. right? So, yeah, it's been a little tough for him. Been a little tough, you know. Again, both have had kind of similar situations. And a bit like Lacerda, he does, you know, when you look at his fights outside of the UFC, he likes a submission, right? He had a front choke against Wataru Mimura. He got a couple of guillotines before, no, three, four, five guillotines before that, right? He's had kid chokes, triangles. He has one knockout win on his record back in November 2016. So, yeah, they are very similar, right? As I said, these fights, man, the matchmakers really do their thing with these things, you know? Boy, I know it's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one looking at this because it's kind of a pick 'em, really, when you think about it. Now, Oliveira has fought most recently, but he's on a 3-fight skid, you know? And even though Oliveira fought more recently, it's still very inconsistent, right? Like the fight before this year was 2023. So I think they are pretty much in the same boat when it comes to possible ring rust. And then when you look at things from that, I kind of feel Lacerda might be like just that slight, he might have that slight advantage, you know? So I think with this, I am going to go with Luan Lacerda for the win. Right, so then we jump to the ladies, right? We got the strawweights coming up. It is Julia Polastri against Karolina Kowalkiewicz, right? So, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, right? She is 39, 5'3", 64-inch reach. Overall record of 16-9. Right, she's gone 9-9 in the UFC. Went 1-0 in Invicta. Right, and she's on at the moment, unfortunately, a 2-fight skid. Now, we last saw her November 2024. She lost to Denise Gomez via decision. And then in May 2024, same year, right? She lost to Izimin Lucindo. Again, went all 3 rounds, lost via decision. Man, it was a shame because, you know, before that first loss, she had been on a 4-fight win streak, right? All started in June 2022. She beat Felice Herring. She then beat Silvana Gomez-Jaraz, Vanessa Depopoulos, and Diana Belbita, right? And those last 2, definitely really good wins there, you know? So Karolina, I mean, she's very skilled, right? We know this. She's won, like with the Herring, she got a rear naked. So she has some submissions. Doesn't necessarily use them all the time, but she does have submissions. She's had stoppages, but I think most of her pro career, it has been either a sub or it's gone the distance. She's also had those runs, right? There was a point, right, in 2018, because she fought Herring twice, right? So the first time she beat Felice Herring, then that started a skid, Right? She lost to Jessica Andrade, Michelle Waterstone, Alexa Grasso, Jean Yannon, and Jessica Penne. But then she bounced back, right, with the second win against Herring. So what that just shows, she's overcome adversity in the past. And she has fought the top girls in the division, you know. That's the big thing with Karolina. She challenged for the belt back in the day. Right, she, because, you know, she'd outside the promotion in kickboxing, she'd had a bit of a war, I believe, with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? And also, you know, Joanna had heard she'd been doing her thing on the regionals and was just like, Dana, sign that bitch, right? I believe that was the story, you know? So, she's got a win over Rose Namajunas. You know, back in the day. So she has fought the top girls, right? She's fought the top girls. So there is that. Now she is gold. Julia Polastri, right? Psycho, who's 27, 5'2", 63-inch reach. So, yeah, right? She's 12 years younger, right? She's got an overall record of 13-1-2 in the UFC, went 2-0 in LFA, hit the Contender Series twice, lost one, and then finally got that win for the contract. She's coming off a loss in her last fight, though. That was against Lupita Godinez in March this year. She lost a decision. Before that, in October 2024, she beat Corey McKenna, split decision win. And then before that, right, her debut, she lost to Josephine Crunston. That went to a decision. That was June 2024. So she got her contract September 2023. Right, beat Patricia Aljaz, second round rear naked choke. And when you look outside the promotion, she does like a rear naked, right? She does have a few TKO stoppages. So she's got that snap, right? Does have that. Which is, her first time on the Contender, she lost to Jazz Hands, right? Jasmine Jackiewicz, right? But we know how good Jasmine is. So there is absolutely no shame in that. But, went back to the regionals, put some wins together, and that got her second shot, right? I think what we have seen, right, in the recent years, in the recent fights, Karolina has slowed down, right? She did kind of, improve her fight IQ, right? We have seen that where when she broke her losing streak, right, she had did a new way of fighting, a bit like Alistair Overeem did, and what's his for Arlovsky? For life of me, I forgot his first name, but as they got older, right, they couldn't fight how they used to, and they changed, right? And that's what Karolina did, but we have noticed she has slowed some. So I think, right, it is Julia's time to shine. So I am taking Julia Polastri for the win. Next, we're with the flyweights, right? The gentlemen. We have Lucas Rocha against Stewart Nicoll. Okie dokie. So, Kakamora Stewart Nicoll. He is 30, 5'5", 65.5-inch reach. He's got an 8-1 overall record. And that sole loss was his UFC debut, right? That happened in August 2024. He lost to Jesus Aguilera. Got caught in the first round via guillotine. Right, now before that, he'd been on a tear, right? All his wins, bar one, came by stoppage, right? Started off with a rear naked. He got an armbar, triangle, right? Knockout, another knockout. Right, then TKO, ground and pound, another knockout. And that led to, the big show, right? But yeah, didn't quite go as well. So you know he is going to be hungry to show what he's made of, right? Now, he is against Lucas Rocha, who is 25, 5'3", 64-inch reach, 17-2, right? He's also 0-1 in the UFC, and he came via the Contender Series, right? So he made his debut, right, in October 2024 against a fighter who actually is on this card, right? He lost a second round. That was a horrible sentence, right? He got caught by a rear naked choke in the second round by Clayton Carpenter. Yeah. Now, he was on the Contender Series in October 2023. He stopped Davy Bittencourt in the second round with knees, right? And before that, right, he'd been putting some good wins together, right? A good number of stoppages, in right? He was winning by stoppages, TKOs, right? There's a doctor's stoppage. He'd had a couple of rear naked chokes, right? So this is definitely a fight of the young, hungry next generation. So it's very interesting. Now, Rocha is going to be fighting. So there could be that added pressure on his back, right? I think I'm going to go with Nicoll to pull things off here when you consider all of that thing. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Nicoll's. We are then going to the ladies' bantamweight division, and here we have our sole debut of this card, right? So that is a fight of Beatriz Mesquita against Irina Alekseeva, right? And boy, this is a good fight, right? Irina Alekseeva, the Russian Ronda, is 35, 5'8", 66-inch reach, right? She has an overall record of 5-3. In the UFC, she's 1-2. And she's on a 2-fight losing streak, unfortunately for her. Now, she it was an interesting one, right? So she fought in Bellator, right? Has a she won her hold on, what were we doing? Oh, actually, I thought I'd seen, I was like, oh, but no, I scrappled all that. I thought, yeah, it doesn't even matter, people. I'm not embarrassing myself. But yeah, she did fight, she did win. That was her last fight before the UFC, right? So in her debut in April 2023, she beat Stephanie Egger. She got a first round knee bar. She did miss weight, though, for that fight. So there is an asterisk on that win. Right, she then fought October that year and lost to Melissa Mullins via decision. She then fought this year, right, in June. She lost another decision to Claudia Segula. Okay. So, yeah, outside of the UFC. Oh, what has happened to my... Yeah, I mean, you know, she's very young in her career, even though she's older. I do think she came, you know, the Ronda thing is because she came from judo as well. Yeah, she does have an armbar win. It's very weird. Her first pro fight, right? She won in the first round. It says refusal. So I'm assuming the other fighter decided they did not want to fight, which, whew, that's a tough one to come back from, isn't it? But yeah, you know, not a load of fights, one armbar, right, in all of those. So there's not a lot to go by, right? Not a lot to go by. Now she is fighting Beatriz Baya Mesquita, right? Who, she's 34, a year younger, 5'4", 66-inch reach. She's got an overall record of just 5-0, right? 1 all of 5. And again, not a big record, right? Not a lot to go by. However, right, there is a difference with these two fighters. Bia, she comes via, she's fought she's part of American Top Team, right? She went 4-0 in LFA. I think she won the title in LFA, right? That was the last fight I saw her. Yes, she won the belt, right? Beating Sarah Dinwadi. Second round TKO. That was in June this year, right? Before that, she fought in March, right? She beat Hope Chase because Hope hit her with an illegal knee in the second round. And I think Bayer was winning that fight up to that point, right? Is very busy. Right, in 2024, she had 3 fights, all won with rear naked choke, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 of those fights were in LFA. And I think, as I said, there is a big difference between these two girls, and that being Bia has an incredible BJJ record, right? I have seen her fight numerous times, right? In EBI, in Medusa, right? And other events. She is very good. And she's gone up against, you know, the top grapplers, right? She has a win over Fionn Davis. And that should show you something, right? Definitely should show you something. You know, you're thinking about it, she technically could have been a snap up for UFC BJJ, right? She's that good, right? When you think of the female grapplers, she is definitely one of those names that I'm sure Claudia would have liked on the roster. Right, her last BJJ fight, she beat Jennifer Maia. That was that in ADC? Yeah, ADCC. So yeah, very, very skilled. So not many MMA fights, but she has a huge history in competition, and she knows grappling, right? That is why I'm taking Bia for the win, people, right? So we then go to the heavyweight, and fortunately, like, we did have 3 heavyweight fights on the card. Now we're down to 2, and this is the first of those, right? It is Vitor Petrino, against Thomas Petersen. Yeah, this should be good. So the train, Thomas Petersen, right? He is 30, 6'1", 74-inch reach. He's got a 10-3 overall record, and he is 2-2 in the UFC, right? He went 6-1 in LFA, and he came via the Contender Series. So last time out, he fought May this year, and he beat Dontel Mays, right? So that went to a decision. And yeah, he was able to take the bad taste out of his mouth from a loss in February this year to Shamil Gizev, right, where he got caught in the first round with a right hook. He fought on the Contender Series in August 2023. He beat Chandler Cole with a key lock in the second round, right? So he knows some subs. Made his debut in February 2024. He lost a decision to Jamal Pogues. But then in July that year, he got a decision win over Muhammad Usman. So when you look at his LFA record, right, he did win the heavyweight belt, right? He 2021 beat Vernon Lewis by a first round stoppage. He lost in the next fight, unfortunately for him. Got stopped in the third round via, people, you'll know this name, Waldo Cortez Acosta, right? Who is now doing his thing in the UFC. He came back from that fight with 2 wins, right? Which earned him a Contender Series call-up, right? Both via ground and pound. First in the second, and then in the first round. So, you know, like most heavyweight, and he'll need them. He's going up against a Vitor Akao, right, who is 28, 6'2", 77.5-inch reach. So he's got a 3.5-inch reach advantage. He's got a 12-2. He is 5-2 in the UFC, and he also came via the Contender Series, right? So yeah, he won his contract in September 2022, had a second round stoppage of Rodolfo Balotto, right? Another name you all know. Made his debut in March 2023. Turkajai. That was a decision. Got an arm triangle win over Marcin Pacino. Then a hook over Modestas Bukauskas, right, in Modestas's first stint in the promotion. He then beat Tyson Pedro, but he lost to Anthony Smith. and then Dustin Jacoby. Bounced back, though, in July this year with a rear naked choke over Austin Lane in the first round. So, yeah. I mean, this is a good fight, right? This is a good fight. And they both have got those heavy hands. I think Petrino probably has more in the jiu-jitsu side of things, right? So I think I'm taking Vitor Petrino to get the win on his home turf. And so the prelims end with the flyweight, right? The men, Jafel, Filho against Clayton, Carpenter. Woo! So, Clayton Carpenter is 29, 5'6", 66 inch reach. Right, he's got an 8-1 overall record. He is coming off a loss, right? He's 2-1 in the UFC. He went 3-0 in the LFA, and he came via the Contender Series. Right, so won his contract in August 2022, beat Edgar Chavez. He then made his pro 2023, had a win over John Ronderos, first round rear naked. He then got another rear naked choke against Lucas Rocha, but lost last time out to Tagir Ulanbekov. But, yo, Tagir ain't no joke. Right, that was in January this year. But yeah, Clayton is tough. He's got skills, right? He's had a couple of head kick finishes, a knee bar, right? Rear naked. So he does have some skills in his amateur career. Got a few arm bars, rear nakeds, right? So he is skilled. Can knock you out. He can sub you. Going up against the pastor, Jafel Filho, right? He's 32, 5'7", 68.5 inch. But also coming off a loss in his last fight. He is 2-2 in the UFC, and he also came via the Contender Series, right? So he won his contract in September 2020. No, sorry. September 2022. Beat Robert Echeverria, right? Third round stoppage. He lost his debut against Mohamed Mokaev, right? In March 2023. Got caught with a rear naked in the third. Then 2 wins back to back. Daniel Barez. July 2023, got a first round arm triangle. And then March 2024, beat Ode Osborne with a rear naked in the first round. So yes, again, they both very skilled. Both have submissions. Both have TKOs, right? So another well put together fight. Here, though, people, I think I'm going with Carpenter. I'm taking Clayton Carpenter for the win. This is a fun fight to take us to our main card.